The man with the most major titles in PBA Tour history, Jason Belmonte, has 15 of those. Wants to repeat as PBA Tour Finals champ. He starts that quest next. We are back at the Angel of the Winds Casino and Resort in Arlington, Washington. An hour north of Seattle. 8 of the world's best bowlers are here. The top 8 in points over the last 2 years, competing for the PBA Tour title. Today we continue positioning round play with Group 2 bowlers. In Group 1, EJ Tackett, the top seed, after a 4-game pinfall of 9-16. Tomorrow, Group 1 step ladder semifinals will have Tackett as the top seed. EJ 9-16 for Troops 900. Tom Barrett third at 866, then Jacob Butcher 806. Step ladder bowling tomorrow on CBS Sports Network. Then Group 2 about to unfold. Anthony Simonson, Jason Belmonte, Chris Prather, and Packy Hanrahan, the two-handed lefty, a newcomer to the PBA Tour Finals. Welcome back to suburban Seattle. Great to have you with us. Dave Bryant alongside the Hall of Famer Randy Pedersen. This incredible crowd getting set for our second show. Here comes the Randy chant.
It's Mike J.
Everywhere.
Mike J is an antagonist.
Especially here in Arlington, Washington. And they also love watching EJ Tackett.
Yeah.
Tremendous bowling in the first show, showing why he's the Player of the Year frontrunner.
Yeah, absolutely. He took full advantage of the mistake in the 9th frame by Kyle Troop, gave him the opening. He walked right through that door. He's your #1 seed for tomorrow's Group 1 stepladder finals.
We know the great Jason Belmonte has 15 majors. That's number 1 all time in PBA Tour history. He won this event, Randy, last year, looking really good to repeat the feat.
You know, it's very interesting in some of the comments that Jason made about this season. You know, he's like, well, it wasn't that great of a season. As here, he's capturing his 15th major, the Tournament of Champions. But he's like, yeah, you know, this year wasn't that great. That he captures the Super Slam, and that was another 100,000. But check this out. You know, last year, 2022. He won 5 times for the season, the first time he's ever done that in his career. He wins Player of the Year honors again for a record 7th time. And this season, he's won more money. Incredible player.
Hear the booms from the crowd here. We saw the boom last year when he had the 300 game and then won the PBA
Sonic boom, man. It was crazy.
Australian Sonic boom.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Speaking of awesome, Anthony Simonson, who has 5 major titles at age 26, another sensational two-hander.
An incredible season for Anthony Simonson, one of the best ever from a player that probably will not win Player of the Year. Are you kidding me? I mean, this young man has had some season, winning the Masters again. I think he had a top 4 finish in every single major this season. It's been an absolute phenomenal year, his best year as a professional.
Checking the format, as we saw in Show 1, these 4 great bowlers, led by EJ Tackett in Group 1. Group 2, same deal. Top 8 players, 2-year point list combined. 4 qualifying games, 2 different oil patterns. And then we'll set up our Group 2 step ladder, which unfolds tomorrow on CBS Sports Network as well. Tremendous bowling on the way from outside Seattle. Group 2 is next.
The 2023 PBA Tour Finals on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to GoBowling.com to find a center near you. And by Guaranteed Rate. With same-day mortgage, you go from application to approval in as fast as 1 day. And close on your dream home in as little as 10 days. Learn more at Rate.com.
We have 2 different oil patterns. We're going to start with a Wayne Webb, 38 feet in length, just like we saw in Group 1 earlier. And after 2 games, we will have a re-oil, and we'll go to the 43-foot Earl Anthony oil pattern. Both patterns playing completely different. You'll see a lot of urethane going down the lane. For the shorter pattern, some more reactive resin, some stronger stuff going down the Earl Anthony 43-footer.
Here we go. Time to bowl. Group 2. Anthony Simonson starts us. Here's Belmo's first shot of the day. I saw him winning the PBA Super Slam Cup in Jupiter. Took home big prize money.
What a season for Simonson. Imagine that. At least a top 4 finish in all 5 majors this season. That's another PBA record.
Right. I mean, EJ's top seed record is extraordinary, so is that. Chris Prather returns to TV. Good start for the Shark.
And if you'd have told me that Chris Prather was going to have the type of season he did in 2023, I'd have punched you right in the face.
Surprising, right? Packy takes them all down. Good start for Packy Hanrahan.
There you see that right wrist of Prather's all taped up. He's been having some struggles with that wrist.
Nice start for Chris. He told us this week took about a month off. Went to bowl regionals in Minnesota, North Dakota with Marshall Kent. That was the first time he picked the ball up. Battling wrist problem Randy talked about. Big Packy.
And is there a better story than Packy Hanrahan? I mean, this guy wasn't even a consideration on his college team at Wichita State. And then what does he do this season? He wins not once but twice for the first time. And here he is. 2 seasons. He gets into the top 8 and makes it to the Tour Finals. I mean, what a success story. And it's just a credit to his dedication and his work ethic, right?
Shot 3-6-10 up here for Simonson. Now, Packy said to us this week, I'm kind of surprised to be at this event among these elite names. But the 2 wins will do it to you.
I'll tell you who's not surprised. There's a guy by the name of Tim Mack who let the secret out about Packy Hanrahan a couple of years ago when Packy got drafted into the league.
No big 4, no spare. Simo will take it. Simo's got that. Prather daily wrist exercises. Showed us on the Zoom this week, Randy. Take a can of corn and roll it wrist to fingers, wrist to fingers. Try to work that ligament injury he suffered. He said, look, I've bowled horrendously all year. This guy didn't.
No.
3-6-10 again.
I mean, there's so many players that watched one guy out on this tour. That one guy is that man right there, Chris Prather. It's like, hey, if I could step into another physical game, I'll take his.
It's pretty to watch. 7-pin. Not the best break. 2019, Prather won the Scorpion Championship, PBA playoffs, TOC in 2020. Roth Holman with Andrew Anderson in 2021. And the World Championship last year. Not big numbers this season, but dealt with injuries. 16th on the PBA points list entering this event. Packy.
Well, remember in Group 1, there was only one southpaw, and that was Jacob Buttriff. He did not fare well. We'll see if it's any different for Packy Hanrahan. Some guys fly across the pond to bowl on the PBA Tour. This guy flies halfway around the world.
Not easy. 16 hours of travel to get here. 9 for Dom Barrett. Direct flight. Not a direct flight for Belmo. Although still was a stopover in either LA or San Fran.
Heck, it took me 18 to get here. But we don't need
that direct flight from Orlando.
We don't need
sketchy last 2 days for Randy.
We don't need to get into any of those delays.
Uh-oh. There's a chop and a rare open for Belmo. Well, if anyone can handle the jet lag and the long travel, it's Belmonte.
And while we have a moment, big shout out to our commissioner and maybe bowling's biggest fan, Tom Clark, who's back home in Milwaukee. I know he's watching, tuning in. Tom, we wish you were here. We know how much you love this facility, and we know how much you love the PBA Tour. We miss you, man.
Oh! Almost a double break there. Absolutely best UTC. Hope to see you soon. Packy did talk about that extra effort, Randy, to practice the hours to get to a multi-win season. Works hard on his YouTube channel. The House Bowling. 115,000 subscribers and counting. We talked this week, he's working on some trick shots, the Norm Duke towel shot. Flying Eagle.
Simonson out of the urethane and right back to the reactive resin. First player to do that out of these four here in Group 2. Simonson was using a pitch black. Hanrahan going to purple hammer. Belmonte pitch black and Prather pitch black.
Oh, across the deck. Down goes number 10. Prather, a 5-time titleist, 2 majors to his credit.
Trying to see the name of that bowling ball. I'll probably get a text on it. As soon as I know, folks, you'll know.
Sometimes get a little lucky.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you go Brooklyn.
Don't. Seen a couple Brooklyn strikes today through the 2 shows. Prather looks good.
Real good. Prather starts 3-bagger, spared double. Nice kick save on the 10 late. Hanrahan. He's got the whole left side to himself here in Group 2.
Second straight year SRO, all shows here at Strikers. Angel Winds Casino and Resort outside Seattle. Spectacular facility and equally spectacular bowling. 8 players, over $3 million in earnings ran over the last 2 years.
Yeah, and that man right there leading the way with over $600,000 the past 2 seasons in earnings, followed by Simonson, a close second, and E.J. Tackett third.
Out of the break, Simonson looks good.
Yeah, you talk about that $3 million plus in earnings. Those 3 guys we just mentioned have almost $2 million of it. So pretty strong.
Pretty awesome. Belmo 955 4-game total last year. 257, 268, 201, 229 to take the lead from Group 1. Simonson was the leader in Group 2. He's got a re-rack here. 977 combined scores, so the best of day 1 of positioning last season. His high game 279.
Simonson switching to an idle Cosmos. which is reactive resin. And look at him open the lane up. Not far enough right. Once again for Simonson. Six wins, 11 top fives, and 20 top tens for Bill Monty last 2 seasons.
Been amazing. I like to ask the bowlers in our interviews about a letter grade you'd give yourself. Bill Monty said a B, despite the TOC and the Super Slam Cup.
Good cover.
Good cover there, 310, baby split for Simonson. Prather said to us, it's a D. Just not the year I thought I was going to have.
Well, I mean, you got to like his candidness, right? I mean,
He was honest.
absolutely. Yeah. How about 2 of those here in game 1 for Prather? Everything else strikes.
Back to Packy. Whoa! Flirts with that is in the channel.
Our second gutter ball of the day, won by Dom Barrett earlier. Four games, total pins on 2 different oil patterns. Game 1 here in Group 2. They'll bowl 1 more game on this short Wayne Webb oil pattern. We will then re-oil with the longer 43-foot Earl Anthony oil pattern. 4-game total pin to decide positioning for our step ladder finals. Nice spare there for Packy. You know what?
Bounce back for a spare.
And he doesn't lose any count because he was working on a strike. So it's no different than if he would have gone 9 spare. And that's the craziness of scorekeeping in the sport of bowling, right?
Always interesting.
You could have 11 strikes and 1 spare, right? And shoot 290. Or you could have 11 strikes and 1 spare and shoot 279.
That's bowling, baby.
It just depends on where that spare is.
Back to Belmo. Looks good. He's told us for years he has been able to master, or at least close to, the rest required for a long trip. Watch it.
What are those chambers, those oxygen chambers, that those bio chambers that those athletes get into? It's not a cryo chamber. Those are the cold ones, right?
No, it's not.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
We'll Google in a second.
Yeah,
Google knows.
Belmonte, he travels with one. I'll get another text from maybe Tim Mack will text me and tell me.
You definitely have to check that bag. It's not going to the overhead.
I remember James Harrison used to use one of those a lot back when he was playing with the Steelers. James Harrison, the great linebacker.
Belmo locked in. He'd been in the U.S. close to 5 months before going back after the Super Slam Cup win.
And keep in mind that when he goes back and forth, right, it's not like he can go out of LAX and then land in Sydney and then drive a half an hour to get home, right? I mean, once he gets to his own country, it's another 4 to 6 hour ordeal just to get home.
Well, we saw a lot of Belmo's social media. So happy to be reunited with his family. His young kiddos back home. Prather didn't like it.
Yeah.
Why? Way high. Packy packs a punch. I didn't know that sign was there. I was just, having fun with the P name.
I'm not buying that at all.
All right. Prather covers nicely.
You think I'm gonna sit here and believe that was totally coincidental?
I really didn't see it.
You out of your mind?
Oh, come on. Come on.
Great timing.
TV timing happens once in a while. Hammerhand.
Much better on that left lane.
Packy, a family nickname. His dad is Packy. Given name Patrick. Prather.
Nice kick on the 9. And you know that they're not the only Packies. There was a cartoon going back a few years ago, and the name of the cartoon was Wacky and Packy.
Wow. I'm Googling right now. What years are we talking?
Just Google cartoon, Wacky and Packy cartoon.
Long time ago.
Yeah, it was about, the Packy was a pachyderm. He was an elephant. And Wacky was like this caveman-looking dude that carried a bunch of bananas under his arm.
1975. All right. Prather figuring things out.
Now, honestly, I mean, he only made one bad shot. He's got it figured out.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's for Packy.
Just loses one stick. 2-12 for Packy. Yes, I knew Tim Mack would come through. Hyperbaric oxygen chamber.
Thank you, Tim. Belated happy birthday. Tim and I share the same birthday, June 20th. So.
All right, somebody else is calling it hydrobaric. You might want to Google that too.
I'm Googling.
Please, thanks. Appreciate it. Simonson, ball change, and now working on a double and through the nose. Maybe too early for that ball change. Maybe not enough oil down the lane for the reactive resin. We'll find out in game number 2. And remember, after game 2, a real oil. Belmonte right now can strike out for 256. Remember, he missed a spare in the 4th. Hated it. It was like the Kyle Troop shot from our last group 1, except Belmonte gets 8 instead of 5.
Four 7, Belmo's got it. Simo finishing out game 1, and that's not what he wanted at all. Two-hander from down under. Good bounce back. 234. But the man of the moment, Prather. 238. Has a lead through one game. 3 on the way. Group 2 from Arlington. Game 1 in the books. 238 for the Shark. Chris Prather. Belmo, last year's champion at 234. Simonson and Packy Hanrahan. 215 and 212 game 1 efforts. Get your daily dose of Jim and Company in the jungle as they tackle the most notorious sports headlines on the Jim Rome Show. Weekdays, noon Eastern, here on CBS Sports Network. Time for us to tackle some more bowling here, Randy. Right alongside Randy Pedersen, Hall of Famer, our entire crew. Great to have you with us from Arlington, Washington. It's 11-12, Prather and Belmo Lanes 13 and 14, Packy and Anthony Simonson. Prather starts game 2 in style.
And remember, the players will flip-flop pairs. And a good start for Chris Prather, who quietly went about taking down game 1 with 236. He's got a 2-pin advantage. Excuse me, 238. He's got a 4-pin advantage over Belmonte. 26 over Hanrahan and 23 over Simonson. 7-time Chris Schenkel PBA Player of the Year.
Legend ties Walter A. Williams Jr. for the all-time record for Player of the Year awards. Heavy favorite this year, of course, is EJ Tackler with 5 titles.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much locked. You could, you could kind of bank that. Bet if you wanted to bet on it, you could win.
We told EJ you're in. He said it's not over yet.
Oh, it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
He thought if Simonson won here that there'd be consideration for Anthony, but I just don't think that's possible.
It really is a shame, too, because of the season that Simonson's had.
Agreed. It's fantastic. Cross the net. Number 10. Down you go.
Wow. Somebody better get a stretcher for that 10-pin to stabilize its spine.
Speaking of late hits, Simonson answers. Prather looking smooth. Oh,
no, don't do it.
Okay. Just the 7-pin, almost the red 7-10.
Ball change for Simonson. Looks like he's gone to just a regular idle and overhook down lane through the nose, and the 4-7-10 split for Simonson.
Four 7-10, 4-10 stand. Open for Simonson early game 2. Titles, 2 majors for Chris Prather. Over a 2-year span, completely dominant. Really 3 years, if you include 2020, abbreviated by COVID. What a talent. Said it was this week, Randy. As he strikes, the wrist is 95% back. Feels almost 100%, which could spell trouble for the other 7 bowlers here. We'll see. Packy strikes.
Well, and I think it's a testament to just how good the rest of the players are on tour, right? If you're not 100%, doesn't matter how good you are, it's going to be tough to beat these guys. And Prather is an exceptional talent, exceptional player out here. But hard to beat a man like this when you're not at 100%.
2:34, game 1 after Belmont. Wow. Dialed into the 1-3 pocket. Tattoos the rack with power.
Oh, a little nudge into the 7 by the 4-pin for Packy.
Packy's big point of emphasis when we talked to him this week was being able to stay in this 2-day grueling event. Mental strength, he thought was going to be really important. First time PBA Tour Finals for him. Simonson knows this event well. A past champion. All-time major winner champ, right there. Won the 2018 PBA Tour Finals, Jason Belmonte. This guy won it 2021.
There you go. All right, Sabo.
Silky smooth, Prather.
He is. I always use the analogy when I watch Chris Prather bowl. It's like you could set a plate of food on his head, and he could start his approach and never spill any food. You know, that's just how steady his head is through the entire approach. It's really incredible to watch, and something that you would do. You would be doing yourself a favor if you modeled yourself after that. Take a look right here. Watch just how steady, especially through the hit zone, the release point. How steady that head is. Nice and level, chin out front. Great lines. Not real happy with leaving that flaccid 10 on the left lane, though.
Back to Packy. Back to the strike. Cross lane, turns away from that. We have the 10 pin, no worries. Single pin spare conversion for Chris Prather.
Hates it. It's just such a fine line when you're hooking the ball on this pattern, because if you get it too far to the right, it's slicker than an otter's pocket on the outside part of the lane. It can go in the gutter. We've seen that. If you get it up the lane with reactive resonant over hooks and goes higher Brooklyn.
Belmo steps off. Was it the music?
Yeah, it's the music.
You can dance if you want to.
Yep, that's it. It got in his dome.
Well, it's great having the music playing in day one here at the PBA Tour Finals.
Even all the things that your brain has to process to get from point A to point B and deliver the bowling ball on line properly with the amount of speed, rotation, rev rate, and then you got to do all that. All those calculations, and you've got to figure out if you want to listen to You Can Dance. I'd be better off without having to listen to that. It's too many things to process for me.
Too much. Belmo now looks for the front six. We have a Pabst six-pack alert. If he strikes here, he'll win $1,000. Sponsored by Pabst, the ribbon of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Please remember to drink responsibly. Looks to say perfect front six. He's got a grand.
Hey, man.
To add to the totals.
Some people have six packs. I personally have a keg, but I'm working on it. I got to try to stay away from the sweets. Jason Belmonte, perfect through six here in game two. He's bowled 300 here before. Can he do it again?
Let's flash back a year ago, June 5th, 2022. Angelo wins here. First game of the championship match. Jason Belmonte got by Tom Ferris 300 to 238. The 34th 300 game PBA Tour history on TV. His second on TV, first since January of 2012 with the World Championship. Stop by Tom Barrett. 2 games tonight to race the two. 235-202 in the championship final. 30th career title. Boom, baby. Boom, Belmo. 8th player with at least 30 titles in his great career. Took home $30,000 as well. 31st title, 15th major came this year at the TOC.
Well, not only is he arguably the greatest player on the planet right now, although maybe not this year because of Tackett, but oh, nice. We all know, I mean, I think we have a pretty good idea who that is. He's a marketing genius.
Agreed.
He does not get cheated when it comes to marketing.
Got a lot of great ideas, entertainment-wise, fashion-wise.
Social media, I mean, yeah, he's built some type of empire, and his entrepreneurship is brilliant at times. It's just pretty incredible, and you know, he's paved the way for other players to replicate what he's done.
6'10" for Prather, 238, best game 1.
Prather hated that last shot. The ball never left his hand, and he pulled it.
A Pabst 6-pack alert. Yeah, Packy strikes here. He'll win $1,000. Sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Packy, half a dozen. No. 247. Please remember to drink responsibly. Right down the line, takes care of business for the mark. Back to Belmo, winning 10-pin, good shot. Simonson.
Good one there.
Really good one. Latter stages game 2. A real oil between. Longer pattern next. 2 more games. Whoa, what in the world?
You don't see that very often from Jason Belmonte. Really good spare shooter, and had some footing issues when he attempted to shoot that 10-pin, and it's the first thing a player does, they look back down at the foul line, and it's like, hey, what the heck happened there? Too much traction? Did I stick or did I slip?
8-frame turkey, Simonson.
Honestly, it looked like he slipped when he attempted to shoot that 10-pin.
Response, Belmo right at it. We made directly at the 1-3 pocket. Lamenting the miss.
A lot of strikes here in game 2. It's going to be short-lived, though, because after game 2, guess what?
Re-oil.
Your re-oil, different oil patterns, switch lanes again, or pairs, I should say. And Prather, your leader after game 1, a small lead, only 4 pins over Belmonte. Right now he's going at a 2:09 pace. Belmonte is in the 2:30s.
16th U.S. Open for Prather, 10th at the SBC Masters, 47th at the World Championship, and 65th at the Players. So those are just finishes you're not used to hearing and seeing when it comes to Chris Prather in his great career so far. But watch out, PBA Tour. He's healthy next year. And he'll be right in the thick of things. So this guy, up and comer, Packy, 2-4. nice shot from Prater.
Well, you look at what Buttrick did in the Group 1 4-gamer. His high game was 215. His next highest game was 204. And then he had a couple of 190s.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
So looks like the left side might be a little tricky just based on the scoring pace by both Buttrick and Hanrahan. Even though Hanrahan now after 212 holding a nice 230 game. He's 237 through 9. He can strike out for 247.
Feinberger helped his cause game 2. Simonson looks for help, and somehow no contact from the 9-pin. Three, 6-10, covers. Belmo's ever 300 game. We saw the perfecto from here in Arlington last year against Troop. That PBA Tour Finals also had one, the 21st all-time, January of 2012 in Vegas. Belmo. He'll turn 40 in July. I mean, Randy's got years left, right? Of dominance if he wants to.
That's a great question. I think the bigger question is how much longer does he want to do it? I mean, his sacrifices are a little bit bigger than most out on this tour, and what he has to go through and give up. And you know, he's not a single guy. He's got a big family at home, and I mean, to be away from them for months at a time it's brutal.
Trip 10 pin. A great shot from Elmo. Monty, 7th all-time, 31 career PBA Tour titles. Mark Roth is next to the list, 6 with 34. Current schedule, catching Walter Ray, I mean, plus 16, that's a lot of titles. I don't think that's possible. But look, if he decides when he turns 40 that that's it, I'm not going to go back to the States, want to be home in Australia.
Well, it's also tougher to win that many events these days because there's just not as many events.
Yeah, schedule's limited. Not the same, 7 pin this time. I'm on 234, 246. Boy, there's some help. He steps up with a knockout punch.
He's still playing that card.
mean, I've done 2 punch packies, so I think that's it.
Yeah, but
I hit my limit.
now, did you make it up or did you read it on a sign in the stands?
I can't see the crowd from here. Prather. Great shot in the 10.
Yeah, nice bailout to it for Prather.
Trip 6-pin Packy. All smiles for now.
A low game. This go around is 224 by Simonson. Hennerhan's in the 240s. Belmonte 246. Prather 239. Some big scores in game 2. We're going to re-oil after this game. Players are going to switch pairs, and we're going to ball on the longer Earl Anthony pattern.
Wiggling 10-pin. .246 for Packy. Nice bounce back in game 2. It is time for today's PBA Tour Trivia question. Presented by Go Bowling. Today's question, 3 of the 9 players to complete the PBA Tour Triple Crown, the U.S. Open World Championship, and TOC are in this field. Who are they? The answer when we return to Arlington, Washington. Halfway home, Group 2. More coming up. PBA Tour Finals Group 2 standings after Game 2. Belmo 480, Prather 3 pins back. Packy in his debut here, bowling well through 2 games, and Anthony Simonson at 439. 2 games to go as the technicians re-oil here in Arlington, Washington. Let's get the answer to today's PBA Tour Trivia question presented by Go Bowling. Which 3 players in the field have completed the Triple Crown? Who are they? Answer is Randy, Belmo, Dom, and EJ Taggart. Big names, big event here. Welcome back to suburban Seattle. Dave Ryan alongside Brandon Pedersen, the Hall of Famer. So, Belmo, fantastic. Yep. Threw a couple games here. Packy Hanrahan, a player, weren't sure how he'd handle the pressure. He wasn't when we talked to him this week. First ever PBA Tour Finals, holding his own.
Yeah, he really is. He's hanging in there nicely. After a slow start, game 1, he shoots 212. He comes back with a big 246 game there to climb back in it. Anything can happen. Remember, new oil pattern. We're going to the longer Earl Anthony 43-footer. Players are switching pairs. Anything can happen, but don't count Packy Hanrahan out just yet. Remember, out of the 4 players, he's the only southpaw. Might be a big advantage for him.
Jacob Butcher struggle a bit in Group 1 as we start off play here today in Arlington, Washington. So we know much more is coming your way tomorrow on CBS Sports Network. Can't wait to see this bowling leading up to the PBA Tour Finals Championship. Of course, Belmo is our defending champ. Group 1 step ladder semifinals tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern time. 4 hours live coverage today. 5 hours tomorrow.
Wait, what? 5?
5 tomorrow, and eventually crowning a champion here on CBS Sports Network. Games 3 and 4, Group 2 positioning round on the way from just outside Seattle, Washington. The on-lane graphics you see, including the oil patterns, which are projected on today's lanes, courtesy of Clutch Bowling. Looking fabulous here in Arlington, Washington. All right, Randy, lane conditions have changed.
They have. It's the Earl Anthony 43-foot oil pattern, high volume, meaning a lot of oil, and it's 5 feet longer than the pattern the players just came off of. So look for the players to kind of keep the ball more in front of them, a little bit straighter angles through the front part of the lane. And I think this is going to be a high-scoring pattern. Guys did real good on that first pattern, and I think it's going to continue on.
246, high game for Belmo and Packy in the first 2. Practice shots continue here on the new oil pattern. Big change. Ball selection. Strategy. Let's see how these fantastic pros respond to the brand new conditions. Packy gets us going.
And Packy only 22 pins back at Belmonte with 2 to play. Prather only 3 back. And Simonson 41 back of the leader after 2, Belmonte. Belmonte averaging a perfect 240 for 2 games. And there's a different ball right there for Prather out of the gate. No more no more urethane. We're straight into reactive resin, except for that man right there, Packy Hanrahan.
Takes care of his mark, no problem there. Mitch Houpe won the Roth Holman PBA Doubles Championship, Middletown, Delaware, this year.
They destroyed him at that event. Wow. Especially Packy. Absolutely mowed him.
And the Kokomo Classic in Indiana. First 2 titles of what he hopes for many more in his career.
You know who was known as the Kokomo Kid? Hall of Famer. The late, great Don Johnson.
Packy will remember Kokomo for a long time. Much better for Simonson out of the gate.
And you thought that Kokomo was just a really good Beach Boys song.
Packy said it was awesome. His girlfriend and her dad drove 11 hours from Wichita to get to Kokomo in time for the championship. They left at like 3 a.m. or something. So great to have their support.
It's a great story, but every time you say Kokomo, I've got this song going off in my head.
Belmo.
Wow, he's staying with the urethane. He's just going to throw darts. So Prather throwing reality. Belmo stays with pitch black. Simo with pitch black. And Packy. Look at that. And Packy with a purple hammer. I mean, I thought maybe one person would use the urethane, and that would be Packy Hanrahan, but instead 3 out of the 4 with the only player to use his thumb in one hand going with reactive resin.
Interesting. Prather.
The fast 8.
Four 7 for Chris Prather. Seven down late. No problem for Chris. Prather looks good here today. Packy has been excellent. Nice pin action. Down goes the 10 pin. Gaining confidence. Prather saw the 300 thrown against him at this event last year by Kyle Troop. Part of the amazing 2-300 game day at the PBA Tour Finals in 2022. He talked to us this week about making better guesses. And Chris so far looks all right with that. Simonson, wow.
Well, and I said that I thought the players are going to have their way with this pattern, and I mean, they came out here in the first 3 frames. It's a strike fest.
Can Belmo keep it going? Right at it. A little high, actually, 3-6-10.
Yeah, he hated it. As soon as he let go of it, you can see just by his body language. Simonson second in average, second in points, second in earnings this season. Just an incredible 2023 campaign for that young man.
Wow. Somehow the 10-pin stands. Only 26 years old, Randy. I mean, a lot of years of greatness left. Whoa, a chop and 6'10" up, open frame Belmo. That's a surprise again.
Second spare missed by Belmonte. Missed the 10-pin in game 2, 7th frame. And now the 3-6-10 here in game 3.
.234, 246 games for Belmo. He's in a game 3. Positioning route here. Every shot from first ball to trophy raising again at the PBA Tour Finals. So glad you're with us on CBS Sports Network. Dave, Randy, our entire crew.
All right, so Dave, I got one for you. So you got a one-game match. It could be worth anything. It could be worth $10 or $1 million, right? But you had to take on one guy, and I'm going to throw 3 names out there after this shot.
Prather, 10-pin.
Little late 10 there. Ball coming in a little late sideways for Chris. One of 3 guys. You got to pick one. Which one do you go up against? And your choices are Belmonte, Tackett, Simonson.
Oh.
You got to bowl one of those 3 guys.
One of those 3 guys? I mean,
which one is it?
Oh.
And why?
Can I pass?
No. And I need an
10-pin.
explanation as to why you would take that guy on versus the other 2. And remember, this isn't like a. I know you have to do the beer frame read. Go ahead.
The beer frame is sponsored, thank you, by Pabst Blue Ribbon of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ask for the original and please drink responsibly.
Now, this isn't for bragging rights. This is like, you got to pick one of these guys because you think you can win. Not like, well, I'm going to take that guy because if I beat him, you know, I'm the greatest.
I mean, no, I should be asking you this question. You're the Hall of Fame bowler.
Well, that was kind of what I was hinting at.
Oh, good, good. Will you answer it then? Go ahead, in order and why.
In order? Oh, no, there's no order.
There's no order?
No.
All right, go ahead. Prather. This is called passing the buck.
Excuse me. I wouldn't take Simonson because you can't trust him. He's sneaky. He's too good. He's got all the tricks. He can throw a backup ball at you and beat you. You never know. I mean, he's got too many tools in the toolbox. He's always there, and I think that guys always, like they always have one eye on Simonson, right? I'll get to my next pick here in a second.
Belmo, wow, blast through the 1-3 pocket with authority. Rushes the pins.
All right, the next guy that I wouldn't take on is Belmonte. Because it's Belmonte, which leaves me with E.J. Tackett. And I wouldn't take him on either because he'd smoke me. So there you go.
So none of the 3 is the bottom line of your answer.
If I had to bowl one of the 3, I would bowl E.J., and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because E.J. has a tendency to get jacked and amped up. It's his personality. It's his DNA. When he can control it, you can't beat him. But every now and then, he lets that one shot, that adrenaline shot, creep in. And if it creates disaster, you have a chance. If he gets away with it, you're done.
I like it. Solid, thorough.
I think we can make a movie out of that.
I'm glad you answered, by the way. Much better.
Honestly, I think we could do like a documentary on that piece right then and there. All right, Chris Prather, Simonson, Hanrahan, and Belmonte. What more do I need to say? Stay with us.
PBA Pro Bowling 2023 video game features the top PBA pros, real equipment, authentic oil patterns, more than 100 tournaments and online play. Now available for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox, and One, and your PC. Visit PBA.com for more information. Jason Belmonte, lane level, joins us. Belmo, how was the trip? How you doing, man?
Man, it was a long way. It's always a bloody long way. Your country never seems to get any closer to mine, so that's annoying. But let me guess what you're going to ask me about. Spare shooting?
So I was going to ask you from the shorter pattern to the longer pattern, what adjustments did you make and why?
Well, actually, I was going to start with reactive until I threw my 2 practice shots on the left lane, and I just missed the break point both times, and it was pretty messy. And so I decided, you know what? I had a little roll in the practice session earlier with urethane, and it was a little bit more controllable, a little bit more predictable. And so I decided to see how that would go to start, and if that didn't look any good, I'd go back to reactive. But I mean, Chris is making it look pretty nice in there with reactive, so if the second game doesn't start off too well, I might be moving into that reactive ball.
Thank you, Jason. Welcome back.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Belmo. Always appreciate Belmo's time in show. Fantastic access. Play resumes with Packy. Takes care of business. Avoids the big 4. That's good news. Just the 4-pin for Chris Prather. He told us this week really felt confident he was going to have a good outing here. Finally, the wrist is healthy. Like Kyle Troop's season-saving opportunity here in Arlington. 7-pin for Packy.
And that 7-pin for the left-hander, cousin to the 10-pin. Both pins very stupid. And even with the open frame, the missed spare by Belmonte, he still clings to a small lead halfway through here in game 3.
Open to the 3rd frame. Otherwise, 5 strikes for Belmo. Packy stays solid.
I love this game because there's 0 unnecessary movement and very few moving parts. A wise man once said, he with the fewest moving parts wins, usually.
Which wise man was that?
I don't know, some dude that used to hang out at our bowling center.
Sabo, response.
He always carried a bunch of paper bags with him. I know, it was weird.
Year 7 of the PBA Tour Finals. He almost won this event once before. I like this answer about spare shooting. 10-pin this time.
See, and for once, I fooled him. He thought I was going to ask him about the 2 missed spares. Nope. Not today, Belmo. Not today.
Belmo won
there
last
it is.
year. Yep. And 2018 as well. 2 times for E.J. Tackett. 2019 in Vegas. And Kyle Troop took it in Jupiter, Florida as well. So, cool event.
Nothing but big shots on that list.
Yeah.
And again, rightly so. I mean, if you take guys over 2 years, right, it's no fluke. I mean, like, I could make it, back in the day for 1 year. I have 1 good year and I'm in, right? Well, 2 years, no, you got to earn that.
Takes incredible talent. 2 seasons worth. And one of the all-time greats right here. Back again, looking for another one.
Yeah, you
just get there.
You kind of saw it with Tiger Woods, right? As he got older and the wins started to becoming fewer and fewer. The major championships more spread out. You started wondering. It's like, are we seeing? Are we starting to see the end of this amazing career? And we're not seeing that yet with Jason Belmonte. But my point is that when is that going to happen? You know, how soon is that going to happen? And again, so many variables because of, you know, him being from another country and, you know, because he's done so much. And, you know, is it a question of, yeah, I mean, most of the time us as players, we hang it up because we just can't get it done anymore, right? And that makes perfect sense. But a guy like Belmonte, he might just go, all right, I'm good, man. Like at the peak of his career, at the top, he might just say, you know what, I'm good. I'd like to spend the rest of my days at home with my family. But the point I'm trying to make is I'd like a heads up. I'd like to know.
We all would. And he said to us several times this year, and when we asked him that question, he's really not sure about too deep into the future. But that limiting travel would be something he wants to do eventually. But you're right, the question is when.
We used to talk about Amelito Monicelli and how tough it was on him being from Venezuela. And you know, that was back when we had 30-plus tournaments a year. And, you know, when I had a bad week, I could just take a week off and go back to California or Florida, wherever I was living at the time. But when Amelito had a bad week, you know, it's a little tougher to get from here all the way to Venezuela and then get back. And could you imagine being living in Australia?
No.
So he commits to months.
5 months.
Over here.
5.
I mean, it's a tough road.
It's basically early January to the end of May.
Yeah.
Long time. Looking for help across the deck of the 10-pin.
It's rude.
He's stubborn.
Simonson looking for that hit right there would have kept his big game hopes alive here in game 3. Belmonte and the 2 teens. Prather going at a Dutch 200 game. Strikes bear all the way through 9. Simo's in the 220s and Packy in the 2 teens. So after a red-hot start by all the players, the striking pace is slowed. It's slowed just a bit here late in game 3. Belmonte steps up in the 10th frame. He can strike out for 242, even with that open in the 3rd. Prather's max 220. Simonson 238. Hanrahan 237. Belmo strikes out. No one goes around Belmo in game 3. No one.
Let's see how it unfolds, partner. Whoa! Right at that 1-3 pocket. Power and authority.
Here's 10 in the pit, right in your pie hole, mister.
Simonson. Trip 10 this time. Belmo's last 2 games last year at this event, 201, 229.
Yeah, but
so ahead of that already.
I mean, he banged on him so big in the first 2 games. He had a nice cush.
Healthy lead, 257, 268. Opening 2-game scores. What should worry the other bowlers at this event is he's about to bowl a 3rd very solid game.
Wow, that one hydroplaned. Must have missed it at the bottom of the swing because the location looked okay, but it looked a little quick. And that could have been just because the ball wasn't grabbing the lane surface. See, and that one did. Both players using the same bowling ball. 3 two-handers, 1 one-hander. You have 2 righties that don't use their thumb and 2 hands. 1 lefty who's sitting there in the bluish-purplish shirt just to the right of your screen. And then Chris Prather, who uses 1 hand and a thumb.
2-8 double wood, covers. No surprise there, no worries for Belmo. Simonson wants to finish in style. Trip 4-pin does just that.
Nice hit, nice break for Simo. 238. Of course, you always trip the 4-pin on your fill shot if you're right-handed. 3-game total for Simonson, 677, I do believe. Yep. Belmonte 7-10 after the 230 game. That looks like a ball change for Prather. Trip 4-6. And 1 more in the 10th to stay close. Hanrahan can keep his name in the mix by striking out here. It's going to get tight. This is going to get close. And I think it's going to be at least a 3-man race for that top spot. Prather going to a new summit on this left lane. And that is reactive resin. Yeah, in front, ball push just a hair long. And he's going to miss out on cutting into that Belmonte lead by a couple of more sticks. 209, his max score is going to get him to 686. So
Packy, no help on the 7th.
When you've got a guy like Packy Hanrahan, he's already kind of got a nickname, right? Packy. Well, but what if you gave him another, like, you know, like what if it was his real name? Then what would his nickname, like Pac-Man?
I mean, that's a good one. A nickname to the nickname.
I mean,
Second.
Unless I start calling him Patrick, you know, I just feel like you got to have another name for him, right? Like we got 2 names for everyone. In this entire broadcast, it's just been Packy. I think you got to throw a Patrick in there every now and again.
I think a Patty or Patrick works. 3 in the books. Group 2 positioning round. PBA Tour Finals. More on the way. Group 2 about to enter our 4th and final positioning round game. Jason Belmonte, defending champ, 2-time winner in this event. 7-10, Prather, Packy, Simonson. Close grouping there with the last 3. Could be a really exciting 4th and final game. CBS Sports celebrates Pride Month.
It's pretty tight. I mean, this is pretty tight. You look at the numbers. Belmonte's at 7-10. 24 back is Prather, 26 back Packy, and 33 back is Sima. This is anybody's ball game with 1 game to go.
Gonna be an awesome finish, no doubt. Let's see how much gas in the tank with this guy.
One of 5 players to win Rookie and Player of the Year honors. And that looks like reactive resin that just went humming down the lane.
Simonson begins game 4.
And he's staying with the urethane.
So when you see ball changes or when players stay with a certain ball, are you in agreement most of the time? How do you feel about that?
I'm in agreement with players at this caliber and this level because they know what they're doing, and they wouldn't make the change if they didn't feel that that was the right change to make. Belmo went to IQ Tour from pitch black. Packy staying with a purple hammer.
2-time champ for Tim Mack.
Remember, we mentioned about this talent, and Tim Mack saw it years ago, and he selected Packy to be on that winning team. Prather reality on one lane, Summit on the other. That's reality right there.
Speaking of Bayside Bowl, Portland, Maine. Prather 2019 PBA playoffs set off a wild celebration. Can't wait to go back there in September. It's gonna be beautiful that time of year.
Yeah, it's always a great time in Portland, Maine. Unless you don't like really, really good seafood.
Best seafood in the world.
Awesome people, and just one of the nicest places in the United States to visit. Back to reality now for Prather on the left lane. He's going with a little loft and a lot of speed. And that time the quitter 10 standing.
Chris said it was this week, a tough year with the wrist we talked about earlier, that he just couldn't go full throttle because he was worried about hurting it again. And you know, Randy, you battle injuries for years in your career. This is a tough sport on the body. Simon said, trip temping. If you don't have total confidence you're going to hold up, it can really be hard, right?
Yeah, I mean, all of my injuries were all knee related, and I can tell you, I mean, another Hall of Famer that went through the same stuff I did was Jason Couch, and you know, Jason and I can both tell you the same thing. I mean, when you're not 100%, you know it. I mean, it's just a no bueno from every aspect, from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint. Again, we talked about it before. These guys are hard enough to beat when you're 100%, let alone when you're 90, 85, 80. And especially, I think, with the lower body. You know, when you start losing legs and losing leg power, knees, you lose that leverage. And I think it's probably one of the worst injuries you could have next to shoulder and wrist.
Pitch black, Pelmo. Looks good. It's a great point. Interesting.
And you watch the players today, and you watch how much they use their legs. And once that goes, you're pretty much toast. And I think the biggest difference when you watch the young players versus the players on the senior tour, the first thing that stands out is lack of knee bend. You start to get older, you lose that flexibility, you lose that strength. I think Jason's had 3 knee surgeries. I've had 4.
Belmo right in front of that big crowd. Wow, big shot. As he blitzes the rack again.
IQ tour with a lot of heat behind it. Whew.
Packy looks for the front 4. Game 4. Okay.
Oh, my.
Not 1, but 2 breaks there for Packy Hanrahan. Sweet.
Wow, what a break. Let's see if that one will stand up and we'd be able to go back and say, remember when he tripped the baby split out? Too firm, too fast for Prather on that right lane. Lane 12.
225 plus average second on tour this year for Simonson. Second in points, second in earnings, almost $300,000, and second in wins.
And
2 victories.
You watch the way these players are attacking this oil pattern. I mean, they're all very different. And if you just want to talk right-handers, fine. Here's Simonson with urethane. Watch how straight he's going with it. Look at how straight that is. And then you've got Chris Prather, who's kind of doing that a little bit with reactive, and the way he's getting it to go straight is with ball speed and loft. And then you've got Belmonte, who's a little bit farther left, who's creating a little bit of arc, and he's throwing at 100.
Love that breakdown. Path to the pocket. Fascinating.
Oh, he's moved in now. He's moved in. He's got a little softer. He's going to go around a little bit more.
Good move. Pays off. Good break.
And you notice there was no loft on that shot. He got the ball right into the floor immediately. That line with that ball, Simonson's looking at one pin and one pin only to get kicked out, and that's the 10 pin. You get that 10 pin out, you don't leave that weak 10. That's what you're looking for playing that line with urethane. Belmonte back to urethane on that right lane, or has he been with that ball the entire time on that right lane? I'm being told he's been using urethane on the right lane, IQ Tour on the left.
Almost a 7-10.
Remember how big the break was that he caught the last frame? This one almost came back to bite him. All right, Belmonte reactive on this left lane.
Fifth frame, Belmo. Oh, yeah.
Keeps his hand up the back a little bit more, so there's not a huge change of direction with that ball.
Start of the game. Sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Want to get moving fast? With same-day mortgage, you can go from application to approval in as little as one business day. Time to get your dream home crazy fast. Learn more at rate.com.
Yeah, there's the talent of Chris Prather. Remember, same ball, he was about 7 or 8 boards right with loft and a lot of speed. And now he just makes that big, in the words of Norm Duke, that mother may I step to the left, slows it down, opens it up.
Here's Prather.
Oh.
That's to the nose and high.
3, 6, 9, 10. He can't believe it. Looked pretty good, too, until it broke loose and went through the face. Bad time for that to happen as Prather was trying to get back in this, working on a double.
238, 239 games, opening 2, then a 209, which is the lowest of any of the 4 in Group 2.
Spare.
Good spare, good cover. Important mark. DJ Tackett won Group 1 to be the top seed tomorrow. Step ladder semifinals. Who wins Group 2? We'll find out from outside Seattle. It's the PBA Tour Finals on CBS Sports Network.
The 2023 PBA Tour Finals on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to GoBowling.com to find a center near you. And by Guaranteed Rate. With same-day mortgage, you go from application to approval in as fast as 1 day. And close on your dream home in as little as 10 days. Learn more at Rate.com.
So Randy Packey's spare was good, but this one is better. With the Guaranteed Rate spare of the game, sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Want to get moving fast? Same-day mortgage. You can go from application to approval and approve as one business day. Time to get your dream home
Way better.
crazy fast. Learn more at Rate.com. That was better, right?
Way better.
Multi.
3, 6, 9, 10 versus what? A single pin?
Single pin spare conversion.
No,
Better.
no comparison.
It's the Guaranteed Rate spare of the game. Belmo, right at it. Wow. Obliterates the rack. Wow.
How about this man? Perfect through 5. And that brings us to a certain alert, Dave.
It would be a Pabst six-pack alert. Here's Simon Strikes here. He'll win $1,000. How about it? Oh, yeah. Courtesy of Pabst Blue Ribbon of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Please remember to drink responsibly.
Let's not rest on young Simonson just yet.
Haven't heard the sound effects in a while.
No, I gave that. I gave that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Simonson front 6, Belmonte spare 6-bagger. Must strike.
7. Oh, goodness. The definition of a rigging 10-pin. I mean, that was a great shot.
Gosh. If only this was cable TV. Here's some choice words.
On 6 and on the 10-pin.
Anthony. Hanrahan not out of it with a strike here.
His 7. Oh, across the deck. Airborne messenger.
Man.
Smashes the 7-pin.
Oh my goodness.
Obliterates it.
Yeah, nefarious action of the head pin into the 7. That was brutal. Up, ball change. And there's that 10-pin. And it's weak action. Now Hanrahan. Remember, he was only 26 back of Belmonte, but Belmonte's stringing him. Hanrahan said, hey, still here. Now Simon after front 6 and then whiffs the 10-pin. Max score now 267. Belmonte can shoot 290.
Nice recovery from the open.
I mean, just think about if he carries that 10-pin, right? He's got the front 8.
Right.
And gives this man something to think about. Again, urethane on the right lane, lane 12 for Belmonte, and using reactive resin on the left lane. Oh boy.
234, 246, 230, the first 3 for Belmonte. Simo's improved every game. 215, 224, 238. Finish this last game in style here. Group 2 qualifying. Group 1, Group 2 tomorrow. CBS Sports Network. Step ladder semifinals. Championship match wraps it up. Our 9th hour of live coverage. Belmo right at it. Whoa!
Oh my goodness.
8-pin.
The audacity and stupidity of one single pin. And that wasn't very friendly either.
Not exactly a break for packing the 10-pin there.
Monty's rhythm to me seems like it's spot on no matter if he's throwing a strike ball or a spare. Never rushed his spare shot. He has missed 2 spares though. He missed the 10-pin and the 3-6-10, and he still leads after 3 games.
Amazing focus for Belmo. One reason he's one of the all-time greats the sport has ever seen.
Some call him the greatest ever.
You can argue that. Prather looked high, 6'10".
Yeah, he went back to reactive. One of the players that truly believes that Belmonte is the greatest to ever throw a volleyball is none other than Norm Duke.
Also one of the all-time GOATs.
One of the greatest ever. Just a couple of years ago when Norm, I want to say it was at age 56, he wins back-to-back events on dual patterns. Kidding me?
Legend. And last year, USBC Masters runner-up was the top seed.
Yep.
Simonson won it.
Yep.
That was amazing. Prather, great shot. Solid for Packy.
258 for Packy. Belmonte needs a mark to be in the 250s in the 10th. And it looks like Belmonte is going to be your #1 seed.
.257 a total for Packy. Now Belmo steps up in the 10th. So I wrap this up for the top seed. Would be the second straight year in his group. What a shot. What a player.
There's your #1 seed. Simonson now I think still has a chance to get to that #2 position. Simonson strikes out at 267, which will get him to 944. Hanrahan's at 941.
Packy at 934.
I'm looking at two different scores, so I don't know what the score is. That I do know that that is your #1 seed right there.
That much we know for sure. Satisfying moment of the match, sponsored by Snickers. Nothing satisfies like a Snickers. This Belmonte is the top seed for Group 2. AJ Tack the top seed for Group 1. Both those boys just need one win as the top seed in the step ladders and semifinals here tomorrow on CBS Sports Network to make the championship match. It's a race to 2 in the final show, the 5th and final tomorrow, to determine a PBA Tour champion. What a day of bowling. And Belmo a month at home in Australia and back over the Pacific to join us here in the Great Northwest. He'll be the top seed in Group 2. E.J. Tackett, Troop, Barrett, and Jacob Buttriff are the top 4 seeds. Group 1 step ladders tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. And we'll determine the Group 1 champ. The winner makes the championship match. It's the final show against the Group 2 winner, led by Jason Belmonte, going for that trophy. Big prize money and a place in PBA Tour history. Group 2, Belmo, Packy, in his first appearance of this event, bowling really well. Simonson and Prather. The first match tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern time. Jason Belmonte does it again. Top seed, second straight year. Trying for a third PBA Tour Finals title. E.J. Tackett, Jason Belmonte are the Group 1 and Group 2 top seeds. Can't wait for more great bowling action tomorrow here from outside Seattle. Now, Brandon Pedersen, the entire crew. Dave Ryan saying so long, and we'll see you tomorrow from here in Arlington. Please tune in tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern. More PBA action, bring you the conclusion of the PBA Tour Finals from Arlington, Washington. Presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. See you tomorrow, where we'll crown a champion.